Add seasoning to crawfish etouffee. New Orleans is a rich melting pot of diverse cultures that is also evident in their world-renowned cuisine. And if you've been to New Orleans, it's most likely that you've discovered their scrumptious exotic dishes like gumbo, jambalaya, and of course, crawfish etouffee. The seasoning used for these dishes is also very diverse, and their combinations contribute to the uniquely Cajun or Creole-style seasoning as they are known. Crawfish etouffee in particular, can be made with either Cajun or Creole seasoning, although the former is more commonly used. Premixes can be found in local grocery stores, but they tend to be a little expensive, and might not always be to your liking. If you want to make crawfish etouffee at home, it's better to add your own homemade seasoning as well. Here's how you can do it. Prepare the ingredients. In making your own Cajun seasoning mix, you will need the following ingredients: 1/4 cup of sea salt, 1/4 cup chili powder, 1/3 cup paprika, 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 1 tablespoon black pepper, 1 tablespoon dried basil, 1 tablespoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon ground rosemary, 1 tablespoon bay leaf, 2 teaspoon dried thyme, 2 teaspoon ground celery seed, 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper, 1/4 teaspoon curry powder, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon cumin. Mix the ingredients. Get a big mixing bowl and combine all the spices in it. Mix together with a spatula or a big spoon. If you want, you can also mix all ingredients in a blender or food processor until you come up with a consistent color. Set seasoning aside for storage. Get a clean bottle or jar that's big enough to store your homemade seasoning. Spoon all of the seasoning into its new container. Old Spice and jam bottles or a salt shaker will do as long as you first wash and dry them thoroughly until the smell of its previous or original contents don't linger anymore. You wouldn't want your seasoning to end up tasting or smelling like peaches or blueberry jam, for instance. It will mess up the overall taste. After transferring the seasoning, label the bottle. Use a permanent marker to write Cajun seasoning on a piece of sticker label. Don't forget to also indicate the date when you made the seasoning. Add the homemade seasoning to your crawfish etouffee. This is very easy. You just use your homemade Cajun seasoning and add it to crawfish etouffee or other dishes like you would use table salt. Enjoy the unique and scrumptious spiciness it adds to your dish. If you want to have a taste of New Orleans in your own home, Try cooking original New Orleans culinary favorites like Crawfish Etouffee. Add your own homemade seasoning so you can control the amount and the kinds of spices that go into your dish, especially if you're allergic to or not tolerant of some kinds of spices. Quick tips: to make the seasoning extra spicy, add an additional 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper and 1/2 tablespoon of jalapeno pepper. Some like to add an ounce of message for seasoning, but it's up to you. Do not breathe in the mixture of spices, or else you'll have a fit of sneezes. Warnings: if you know that you're allergic to some spices or ingredients, you can do away with them. And if you're not particularly fond of a spice, you can lessen the amount that you put in. That's the advantage of making and adding your own seasoning to a dish. Before sharing your homemade seasoning with family, friends, or guests, warn them that it is potently spicy, especially if you added extra cayenne or jalapeno pepper to the mix.